Monday, November 7th, 2022. I'm back here at you with a video. The year is almost over. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's been November. Actually, tomorrow is November 8th. It'll be exactly 1 year since my grandmother passed away. Like, I can't believe this much time has gone by. But one thing I would say is that I'm a lot better as far as like just my life, just as far as my physical health, and I'm still not exactly where I want to be, but I'm a lot better compared to how I was last year. I always try to compare myself to how I was last year, like that month last year, to see if to keep track of how well I'm doing. Every month, like January, February, March, I always compare myself to that same time the year prior to that, just to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. But anyway, I just want to make a quick video about feminism. I had a thought today about women who compete against men. Now, if that's what you want to do, I don't have an issue with it. But one thing I just want to point out is, you have some women out here who compete against men. But it's actually kind of funny because, men, we don't really compete against women. Like on an average day, I believe that most men don't really concern themselves about what women are really doing in a 24-hour period. Like when I wake up in the morning and get dressed and go out and handle my business, go to work or do whatever I need to do for that. Sorry, my alarm, this might be split into two. Hold on. Anyway, like I said, like when I wake up in the morning and go about my business, go to work, handle my business, do my errands and so forth. In the back of my head, I'm not thinking about what women are really doing. To be honest with you, I don't even think that most men even know what women do throughout most of the day, honestly, because I don't think they really concern themselves like that. Like most men, we either compete against two people. There's two people we usually compete against. We either compete against other men or we compete against ourselves. Like me, I'm a type of person, I compete against myself. I don't really worry about what other men are doing that much. I just try to be better than I was yesterday, or like I said even earlier in the video, how I compare myself to how I was the year before, to see if make sure I'm going in the right direction. Other than that, I'm not too concerned about what other people do for the most part. But I feel that's kind of funny because it seems like you have some women out here that make so many sacrifices and do so many things. They put off having kids, put off having getting married, and so forth, just so they can have a career. And that's what you want to do. That's cool, but the thing is like the men are not really thinking about that, really. I mean, like the men are not. See, you make yourself independent. You work hard to become an independent woman. That's fine. But it's like a man looks at that and he's like, so what? Like not in a disrespectful way, but it's like, yeah, you got a good paying job, you got a lot of money, you got a nice car and all that, but I'm not impressed by that. Like most men are not. Like some things are impressive. Like I'm not saying it's 100%. There are some things that, like, as a woman, when you break barriers, a man will appreciate that. But at the same time, it's not a mating requirement, really. It's not something that we something that I don't want to say motivate, but sort of inspires us to date you. It doesn't really. It's not. I think women look at how much money a man makes. They look at a man's career and his security. I think men, we don't really look at a woman's security and her financial security. I mean, and career and accomplishments, we don't really look at that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we don't appreciate it. When I see a woman accomplishing great things, I appreciate it, but that's not going to make me want to be with her, really. You know, it's so what? Like, I mean, I'm not saying so what, like it's not, like it doesn't matter, but I'm saying so what, like it's not a requirement or anything. Let me check my phone, make sure it's not overheating. Let me move my phone down here, yeah, because it's actually November, like I said, it's November 3rd, November 7th, I think, and it's 78 degrees out here. Now, I'm not sure if that's normal. So it's usually pretty chilly around this time. I don't know what the temperature is tomorrow, but I think it is. It's been warmer. It was warm yesterday as well, I think. Maybe even last week, I think it was kind of warm. I actually went outside with a jacket on because I'm so used to it being chilly that, you know how when it gets cold, you just throw in a jacket without thinking about it. And it was warm outside without me even knowing. Like, I wasn't even, I was surprised how warm it was. I was like, I gotta take my jacket off. I'm getting kind of hot. Like, even today in my car, it's November 7th, and I'm kind of hot sitting in the sun right now, which feels good to me. But I know I can't sit in the sun for too long. But anyway, like I said, I want to go back to competing against men. Like, I mean, if that's what you want to do, but I feel like a lot of women are stressing themselves out to prove a point that nobody, I don't want to say nobody, what do I want to say? Because I don't want to seem like I'm being disrespectful, you know. It's like you're trying to prove a point that you can do the same as a man, but in a man's eyes, it's not, it doesn't really matter in a sense of choosing you as a mate, if you can understand what I'm saying. Like, it's like if I lift something heavy, like, matter of fact, here's a better way to say it, right? I think men, we have a list of things that we feel that we're supposed to do. As a man, I feel like I'm supposed to be able to lift something heavy. I feel like I'm supposed to be able to lift at least 50 pounds. I should be able to change a tire. These are things I feel like I should be able to do. You feel me? Now, if a woman can do it, that's fine. Good for her. I'm glad she can do it. But it's not like I'm not going to clap my hands and congratulate her because she can. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying it, and I hope you understand what I'm saying when I say that. It's not like I'm not going to give you a cookie because, well, and I'm not saying that you expect it. You know, I don't think women expect you to for us to give you a cookie, to get a cookie, but I feel like some women do have that kind of attitude, like they do. You know, I feel like some women, not all, but some women have this attitude, like if they can do the same thing a man can do, that she deserves recognition from it. But the things that she does is normal, everyday things to a man. You understand what I'm saying? Let me say that one more time. There's some things, some women out here that have this attitude that they should get recognition for being able to do the same things that a man can do. But in a man's eyes, these are everyday things that a man should be able to do anyway. So to him, it's not something that should deserve recognition, something honorable, or you know. Now, like I said before, there are some things. There are some. For example, if a woman becomes a CEO of a company, she deserves recognition for that. If she becomes a mayor, if she becomes a president, if she becomes a like a military general of some sort, I believe that she deserves recognition from that, because that's something very difficult even for a man to become. You see what I'm saying? But if it's something as simple as holding down a full-time job, you pay your own bills, you have a car, you have an education, you know how to read, you know how to write, you know how to and the reason I said read and write, because education, that's all they really teach you anyway, right? You know how to work on your own car. You know how to I don't know, you pay off your own debts. You know, you don't need a man to do certain things. But it's not like it's not like anybody ever said that you needed to. Whoever said that you needed a man to do anything? You see what I'm saying? So it's more of the gender roles. You know, men and women very quickly. See, we live in a time where we have a lot of technology, right, that does a lot of things for us. Okay, you can call the phone, you can call the police force, you can call the ambulance, you can call the fire department. When you're hot, you can easily turn on the AC. You can easily turn on the heat when it's cold. When it's dark, you got electricity. You can turn on the lights easily. We have a lot of, if you're hungry, you can just go to the grocery store. If you're thirsty, you can just go to your water fountain or water fountain or sink or whatever. And I think that this has kind of confused people or caused people to forget the purpose of gender roles. There was a time when you couldn't call the police force, so you needed a man around to help and protect you. It's a time we didn't have the fire department, you didn't have the ambulance, you didn't have a water fountain. There's a time where you had to go to the river, or you have to even to this day you still gotta, actually these days you still gotta do today, you still gotta go to a river or go to a water bank, and you have to distill the water so you can make it drinkable, because you can't drink salt water and you can't drink water that is contaminated if it's been sitting. You can't really drink lake water, because lake water doesn't it sits, so a lot of contaminants, a lot of bacteria and stuff grows, so you have to distill it. And so it's probably best to distill running water, like river water. Let's see, what else? I said food. There's a time you had to hunt, or you had to farm. There's a time where you literally had to, you know how the Bible says, if a man don't work, you don't eat. There's a time where it was literally you had to work, like you had to work on a farm and plant and wait till your harvest grows so you can have something to eat. So literally you had to work to eat. If you didn't work, you didn't eat, literally. Like, so now that we got machines and technology to do a lot of these things for us, it's almost like people have forgotten what the gender roles are about. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're so used to being able to call up a cop or an ambulance and so forth, that you forget what the purpose of having a man around is. It just is what it is. You feel me? So these are first world points. This is coming from a person who grew up in the first world. So, but I'm pretty sure if you go to a third world country where they don't have a lot of tech like that, where they're still doing things the old-fashioned way, they're living off the land, they have a pretty good idea and pretty good sense of male and female and the purpose of it, the purpose of the roles of male and female, and why men do this and why women do this over here, and it actually makes perfect sense of why they should do those things. You feel me? So I guess that's all I want to say. I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from when I make this video. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to talk from a common sense point. I feel like a lot of women are competing against men and trying to do the same thing the man does, and sort of abandoning what the woman does. But there's a reason why men do what they do and women have for thousands of years, while the man did what he did and the woman did what she did. And a lot of it came down to survival. A lot of it. There's a reason why every creature on earth has male and female. Even plants and flowers got male and female. And there's a reason for that. So there's a reason why you need a companion. I was going to get into financial, how being singles is more expensive, but I'm not sure if I want to go that far in this video. I just want to talk about how feminism has kind of caused a little bit of confusion in our culture. I feel like we got women out here who are competing against men. There's times when I used to be at work and I can see how my female coworkers seem to be trying to compete against me, or trying to get like a one up on me for some reason. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you trying to get one up, or why are you trying to show that you can lift something as heavy as me? It doesn't make any sense. Like, that's gonna, like, what are you gonna get out of that? Respect? That's not gonna get you respect. It's great you can lift it, but okay, like, that's not impressive. Like, and I'm not saying that all women are like that, but you got a lot of women out here who are working really hard, killing themselves to get some type of acknowledgement or prestige or something that they want from men. And men, they just don't measure women the same way how women measure men. It's not the same thing. I don't care about how much money a woman makes. I don't care what kind of position she has. As long as she got good sense, easy to get along with, easy to live with, knows how to raise kids. You're not cussing out your kids every 5 seconds. You understand that your kids need love. You gotta have patience. You understand that relationships are going to have problems. Don't go into a relationship expecting perfection. You know what I'm saying? That, to me, that's common sense type things. Show a level of maturity, and and that's it. I don't care how much money she make like that. I don't care what position, how much education she got. I mean, those are good things, but like, you gotta listen. In the real world, nobody really cares about you like that. You're not going. When you walk outside and tell people you got a college degree, you can't walk outside and tell people you got a college degree and expect anybody to care. Okay? Don't walk outside telling people that you got your own car and expect people to actually care. Who do you expect to actually care? Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. You got a job. You got you got a high-paying job. You got promoted on a job. You walk outside right now and scream to the world that you got a promotion on a job, and see how many people actually care. Nobody cares. So, like, you got your own house. I mean, good for you. What I'm saying? Nobody cares. That's everyday, regular stuff. So, and that's what I'm saying. Men kind of think the same way. A lot of the things that we do on a regular basis, and the things that we are expected to do, we're expected to do that. So we don't look at it as something to be acknowledged for. So when you get up and do the same thing the man does, he's not going to give you any acknowledgement. You can't expect any. See, the thing that you value in men look at as the everyday standard. They look at it as a everyday basic responsibility. So therefore, when you do that same thing, the man is going to look at it as, well, so what? So what, you got your own job? So what, you pay your own bills? So what, you're independent? So what, you're supposed to do that anyway? Because men, that's how we look at it as. Because we're expected to do that anyway. You see what I'm saying? I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from. So I know some of you might be a little confused about that, but because I'm trying to explain the best way I can, but trying not to make this video too long because I'm using my phone, so I don't have a lot of space. So let me get out of here. I'll talk to y'all next time. All right.